Welcome to my studio today. I'm going to be etching, and I've already done the Adinkra symbols onto the glasses. The customer has requested for 10 tumblers, and usually I would normally be doing my 16 selected symbols and be etching from there. But today the customer has actually requested for 2 other symbols that they've added to their set. So you've got Love Doesn't Lose Its Way Home, you've got Love is Everlasting, but they have also requested for God is King and Except God, which is Jinyame and Nyame Ohene. So those are the 2 symbols that they've added on top of the other 2 symbols that I usually have as part of the love set. So that's going to be quite nice to actually do. And then I've got some jumbo mugs that I'm also going to be etching. I'm going to be etching initials onto them, and those are some other gifts that have been requested for, not as part of the customer's order, but whilst you're etching, you batch etch together. So that's what we're doing right now. So let's just jump straight to it. How's everybody's day? How are you doing on this second to last week of August? We have had wonderful weather here in London. I have actually what some people have been calling I've been touring England this year, which has been quite nice in the summer holidays. So a couple of weeks ago we were in Stafford, and we have been to different parts of London as part of visiting families and friends and things like that, which is nice. And then we're gonna go to the southern part of England next week as part of the bank holiday weekend, so that's going to be nice as well. So the edging cream that I use is Armor Etch, and that's the only one I've ever used. It was recommended to me from a from a YouTube video, and I have used it. I have loved it, and there's a reason why it's a bestseller. It works really well. But what I am going to be trying today is as much as I'm going to etch, I'm also going to color in gold, because I just want the design to stand out a little bit more. So let's see how it works out. It's going to be a 2-part process. So we will etch, we'll leave it on for a little while, and then we will wash it off and then apply the permanent paint. We've got some Posca markers that I'm going to be using just to see how it works out, and I'm really looking forward to it. I've already used it on an old etched mug, and it's worked, but the only thing is, because of the intricacies of the design, I have to sort of rub off the parts that I want to be exposed. So I only want it on the etched part. But the thing about the process is I want the gold to actually stand out. So in so doing, I'm actually going to keep on the vinyl stencil, so that I can get the gold, the full gold from the marker pen on the design, whereas normally I would take off the stencil and then apply, well, initially what I thought I could do was take off the vinyl stencil and then apply the gold marker, but it looks like it's best to actually keep the vinyl stencil on and then apply the marker, leave the marker on to dry, and then peel the gold stencil off, so that we get the full design. And this is quite nice, because these designs are they're large, they're not that intricate, so when I go to wash off the etching cream, it won't peel off. whereas with the other designs, some of the vinyl parts are quite small, so when you're washing it down, and I don't wash it like, I don't aggravate it, but because they're small parts of vinyl, they lose the contact with the glass and then they come off, and so applying the gold may not work so well as it would with this one. So I'm really looking forward to that actually coming through very, very nicely. So where is everybody watching from? Let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm in London at the moment, and as I say, it's summer holidays here, and we're in the thick of it, really. The children are doing what children do on the holidays, and it definitely has been nice to actually go out with them, because who wants to stay in when the weather's so good? Nobody, nobody at all. So yeah, let's do that. But yeah, so these are Adinkra symbols. Gosh, when did this all start? It started 2018. It was whilst I was talking to somebody, and I said, we have the Ghanaian symbols, and we do so much with it. You find them in so many different places, especially in Ghana, in terms of where we have them on our gates, we have them on books, we have them on so many different things. It's really been used well, and over the years, I think over the last maybe 10 years, it's become really, really popular. I remember some of the symbols were used in Black Panther, and I think Black Widow as well. They were used, but the Ghanaian government didn't engage the Marvel Studios team that greatly in terms of pushing it further. But as with most things, it's creative content, isn't it? And you have to have the right team of people speaking the right language to actually get the thing going. But to be honest, we just enjoyed seeing Black Panther wearing, was it Black Panther or his dad, wearing the outfit with the kente border, and it was just like, yay, Ghana's been represented. Ghana's been represented in Marvel Studios and things. But I think there's a certain level of ownership, and that it's worth credit being given. I think that's the most important thing. It's worth credit being given, but at the same time, it's also worth recognizing that people are intentionally malicious, and I think that's what that's what we all internationally need to recognize, that whenever somebody uses something that belongs to a nation, a culture, so long as they're not defamation, so long as they're not using it in a negative way, and it's bringing the country's name and the symbol into disrepute, it's about recognizing and giving praise to the group of people who are doing it, and in so doing, it fosters relationship, it fosters partnership, it fosters going forward, using their platform to help achieve promotion of the said thing, whatever the thing is. So like I've seen, let's take the Jamaican culture for example. If somebody says Ray and Nephews, you automatically think of the rum, and it is something that Jamaicans are proud of, and they use and they promote. But at the same time, I've seen skinny tumblers recently where people have actually sublimated skinny tumblers with Ray and Nephews. Even the glass mugs, the glass cans, let's say. So the cans that look like Coca-Cola, the glass that look like Coca-Cola bottles, and that have the bamboo lids. Those designs have got some level of Ray and Nephews on there, and then people personalize it. So it might say Ruth and Friends or whatever. It's not necessarily to bring defamation to Ray and Nephews. It's got the Ray and Nephew colors and everything, but it's also used for personalization. And I've seen people do that, and I think that's quite creative. I think that's quite nice, and so on. Obviously, with the Adinkra symbols, you wouldn't normally change anything of it because the symbol itself is a symbol, and as soon as you change an aspect of it, it doesn't stand for what the symbol stands for anymore. So you wouldn't naturally change that. And I also think that a lot of people, it's documented a lot online, so people know Ghanaian, it's a Ghanaian symbol, and so on. So people can't really come and now claim ownership for it, but also as a nation to be tight-fisted on the designs then means that nobody else is using it to promote anything else. And so it's about getting the balance right for the two things of using people's platform to help promote it, but at the same time it fostering partnership so that it's not being used in a ill-mannered way. But yeah, as I say, I selected 16 symbols and then grouped them into 4 themes. So you've got God and Divinity, and that's where the Jinyame symbol sits. I didn't actually choose the Goddess King symbol, only because I'm talking about this symbol right here. Only because I mean, there were so many symbols to choose from, and it was about whittling it down. It was about asking people what symbols they thought and things like that. And the Jinyame symbol is very well known, and I didn't want to mix the two because it's so similar. Where the Nyame Yohene is so Goddess King, this one, it incorporates the Jinyame symbol, and where the Jinyame symbol, which is this one, the Jinyame symbol is so popular that if you had this and this sitting next to each other, if you had this and this sitting next to each other, some people might call this symbol the Jinyame one, and so I didn't want to confuse the two, so I actually just kept with this within the theme. And there are other symbols in there as well. You can always go onto boami.com, click Adinkra symbols 16, and you'll be able to see all 16 symbols that we have on there, that we incorporate them onto our gifts. We will be making gift sets for Christmas, so keep an eye out for that. Well, as I say, skinny tumblers, I have to keep the glasses away from each other because you don't want etching cream on another side where there isn't a design. Yeah, so boa-me, so boa-me.com/Adinkra-16, and you will see the 16 symbols, what they mean, and we will be putting them onto different symbols, so onto different products. So one of the products that is due to come out in the autumn winter, so from October, will be the skinny tumblers that have the 10 the symbols in the 4 sets. So you'll have the love set, which has the skinny tumbler of the love symbols on them, and then you have the other 3 sets. So you've got God and Divinity, which has the Adinkra, the Jinyame symbol on there. And then you'll have the love set, which has this as one of the love doesn't lose its way home in there as a set. And another one of the symbols off the top of my head is Akuma, which is heart, which it's a universal symbol of love, but it also means so many things. But yeah, the website will give you more information in regards to the meanings of the different symbols. And then you have the team theme. I always get that tongue twisted. The team theme, which has it actually has the brand. So Boame Name Boao is help me and I'll help you. And in another language, I think is it Spanish, Latina language is Mikasa Sukasa. So, help me and I'll help you, which is a symbol of cooperation. So our brand symbol is Boame. The company name is Boame, and that's in one of the selected 16 symbols, and the theme and the team TEAM. And then you have also got the wisdom. So the wisdom theme is one like Sankofa, so return and take, which is about looking back on history and learning from your past. That's a very popular symbol as well. It's used again very much in the Caribbean community, where you've got a lot of Caribbean people who are returning back to Africa, to different parts of Africa. They're doing their ancestry research just to see where they come from and things like that. So yeah, that's one of the popular symbols in the wisdom theme. So recap, the themes are God and Divinity, team, love, and wisdom. I think I've got that right. Yeah. So those are the selected 16. So there's four themes, and there are 4 symbols in each theme. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, so again, as I say, we are etching glass tumblers for a customer's order. 10 glasses they ordered, but they wanted 2 symbols that are in our love theme. Or no, yeah, 2 symbols in our love theme, 1 Jinyame in our God and Divinity theme, and then they added another one, which was the Goddess King, which we don't have in our theme, but they requested for it, and we have access to the symbol, so we were able to just cut it out and apply it. Excuse me. So the week has started, and we always like to start the week off on a creative, so that we can do the admin. We tend to do the admin work the latter part of the week, because that's when I find I get the lull. Not that I'm not creative at that time, but if there are any big tasks, I like to eat the big task. I like to tackle the big task first. I'm sure there's a book, Eat the Big Frog First, or something like that, which really is about tackling the big tasks first, because once you tackle the big tasks, then you have a surge of adrenaline and serotonin and all those other innings, chemicals going on in your body, and you can then apply that win, apply that success to the rest of your week, to the rest of the tasks that you've got. And also admin allows you to admin at the end of the week allows you to just process the things that you need to do in terms of what you've already done for the week and what you plan to do for the next week, which always works out quite well, because then you've planned, and when you hit Monday knowing exactly what it is that you need to do. If there are anything that you need to order, you can order them in and they'll arrive either on the weekend, if you're in the studio, or if you get it delivered home or whatever, and take it to the studio and take it from there, really. So yeah, so what I usually do with the etching cream is I allow it to set. Obviously, as I've been doing it, the earlier ones have been setting. And what you'll notice as well is I have blue tape that I use on the glasses, and I haven't blue taped 2 of the jumbo mugs, which is not good, because if I don't want etching cream on it, then I have to secure that pot. Secure. I live with blue tape. It's an absolute necessity. I call it blue tape. Some people call it painter's tape. It's one and the same. It's pretty much just masking tape, but it's not as tacky. I need to blue tape on that as well. It's not as tacky as normal masking tape. This one has got a bit more give, so it doesn't leave a residue on the products that you're working on. So I use it sometimes to hold down vinyl, because my cutting mat has decided to not be as adhesive. The cutting mat is great. It's still cutting. I don't need to get a new one, but it's lost its tackiness. That's where I need tackiness, actually, on the cutting mat itself. I have seen some different ways where people are encouraged to wash their cutting mat and then apply adhesive to, but I haven't found it to have worked, so I don't bother with it. I just hold down the vinyl with painter's tape and keep it moving, really, and that seems to work for me. It might seem like a waste of blue tape, but to be honest, I don't take the blue tape off. So when I take the vinyl off, the blue tape is actually on there, so it's on there for a long time, unless my my cutting ends up being close to the edge, and then it cuts off a little bit of the blue tape, and at which point I then have to reapply it. But for most times, my blue tape on my cutting mat is there waiting for the next piece of vinyl to hold it down. So as I say, these jumbo mugs, these are, I think these are like 600 mil or so. They take up a lot of fluid. These glasses are just under 300. So if you were to put a can of drink in there, a standard drink can is 330 ml, and I think these are 285 ml, so just under a can. So you'll have to pour twice. You have to pour, then drink, and then pour. If you're adding ice, then you definitely would have to pour twice, because it won't be able to take up the full amount of your canned drink. But what I have been finding is the mini cans that are about 150 mils, and that's quite nice, because you still get the fizz without needing to drink so much of it. And it's nice and refreshing, and these glasses are perfect for those. So the 150 canned drinks in most supermarkets, I think you can find them, and they come in a box. No brands being mentioned, but the red brand that's really popular, and their big advert comes out at Christmas. they have them. And in my local supermarket, I checked the other day, for a can of 12, it's like £6. So, you know, if you want to do that, you can do that. A lot of people call them snack size, which is fine. But, you know, yeah, each to their own, what I want to call things. But yeah, the mini cans are a good size. But these, I tend to use them for the teas that I brew. So the teas that are allowed to sit in my hot water for a longer time. So not your standard cup of tea that you make and you add milk and everything else. This is for the peppermint tea that you let sit and brew. So I'll be sipping on that for ages, and you get more out of your brew with this jumbo mugs size. So we will have these on the website as well, again, as part of the hamper sets for Christmas. Yes, I am talking the C word. A lot of people don't like to talk about the C word, but to be honest with you, other companies are talking about other things that I don't believe in. You know, the imagery that are being used around it this year especially, and the kind of, I think my biggest thing is the kind of movies and films that or even just drama series that come out around the end of October time. I just think it's dire, it's dark, you know, and it's unnecessary. Whatever your belief system is, there is no need to fill people's eyes. You know, I'm very big on my eye gate. I watch what I watch. Excuse the pun, but I am very careful of the things that I allow my eyes to see. And so when you think about, I'd rather talk about Christmas and the birth of Christ. I do believe in Jesus being born and his using that time to celebrate his birth is a very special time for myself and my family and everybody who believes in Christ's birth. It doesn't necessarily by date need to be 25th of December, but heck, do you know what? My grandmother couldn't remember her birthday. One of my grandmothers, she couldn't remember her birthday, but she remembers that it was around Good Friday. So when we didn't settle on a date because we thought it was a bit rubbish. We just celebrated with her around every Good Friday, and I know Good Friday changes every year, but for us it was a time where the family gets together anyway. So we thought to just make use of that time where the family gets together to celebrate her on Good Friday, which it was very unique and very satisfying for all of us because everybody tends to be off around that time, so you don't need to find another date in the calendar to get together and celebrate grandma's birthday. Not that it matters, you know, if somebody's born at a particular time of the year, it's always worth joining hands, you know, making time to celebrate. But sometimes some people's schedules are so busy that somebody ends up being somewhere else and they miss out and stuff. So yeah, anyway, I'm totally off subject, coming back to Christmas hampers. So yes, I will be including the Adinkra symbols. So these glasses, the skinny tumblers and the jumbo mugs are all going to be available on the website for you to buy for your loved ones and for Christmas. You can buy them as individuals and the prices will be there, or you can buy it as a box set per theme. And if you want to buy the individual ones, we can actually personalize with the person's name just across here, just across the other side. So you'll have the symbol on one side and the person's name. There will be character limits, so you can't go to, you know, I think the character limit is 6 or 8, if I remember, only because the smaller it gets, the more intricate the symbols are. We try to use bold fonts so that the people can actually see their names, and things. So if you have a really long name, then we would suggest you do in their initials instead, just so that the font can be bold and big enough that they can actually see their name on the other side of the glass. And it makes a really perfect gift for someone to know that you've thought of them, you've picked a particular symbol, and then you've also personalized it. But the box, the sets don't come with personalization, I'm afraid, mainly because when we do the sets, as you can see, I'm doing these right now. When we do the sets, to do personalization as well of the sets, it's very, not that it's time consuming, because we dedicate our time to every single piece that we make, but also we give you a discount. So if you want the personalization, then you would be buying them individually, or if you want them as a box set, then you have it as a box set with the one particular theme. So you pick love theme, and you'll have four glasses within that love theme, and then you can benefit from the price saving as well. So it's one or the other, really. It's up to you, but get in touch, and you know, we can always make something special for you. Alrighty, so I save as much of this etching cream as I can. As I say, you can see that where it's gone white, that's literally where the glass. So etching, that's a question that somebody's asked. Etching is where you've got the glass and you've got the etching cream, and essentially what this etching cream does is it peels off just the top layer of glass from your glass. So just the top layer of the glass where the design has created a stencil and the cream has come into contact with the glass. And so after a while, what I then do is I peel off, I scrape off the excess cream, because you can just reuse it. It hasn't come into contact with anything. The chemical hasn't been contaminated in any way. And so peel it off and put it back into the tub and reuse it. Obviously, over time, the amount that has been applied that gets left over on the vinyl, or is still on the glass within the design itself, is what you've actually used. So over time you will have to get more etching cream, but your etching cream goes a long way. You're not supposed to just, you know, apply it and then wash the whole thing off. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now, just scraping off what the excess is. And as I mentioned earlier, I'll be applying gold marker pen onto the design after I have washed it off. So I will do a part 2 to this video to show you where I apply the marker before I actually peel off the vinyl. So there are 3 parts to this process. 4 parts really. First part being applying the stencil onto the glass, but I can do that, you know, one in the same. This time round I did it a couple of days ago because I was cutting other things on the vinyl cutting machine. So I cut this vinyl and I stuck the vinyl on whilst I was doing that. And then so cut the vinyl designs, apply it onto your glass, then apply your etching cream, let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes. I tend to, because I do them in batches, I just do it according to the time that the first one was and when I finish with the last glass reading. So yeah, 5 to 10 minutes, then scrape off the excess, wash it off, and this time round I will then be applying the gold marker pen onto it. So that's the third process, or fourth if you include the washing off. Then peel off the vinyl and then package it and send it off to the customer, really. So yeah, I hope you're enjoying the video. Make sure you like, share and subscribe. Let everybody know Boami is here. We have been working under a different brand name, and over time we've had to rejig the brand process, and we are now called Boami Management, and that's where you'll find all of the gift sets and personalization and stationery design and things. We will soon be launching a new service in the new year, God willing. We will be launching a new service of absolutely wonderful things that we've got planned for engagement, you know, for education, training, and life services, we like to call it. But as our theme says, you know, by your side through life seasons. So you know, we've been having discussions in regards to people's life seasons, and it's a service that we're looking to offer. Oh, I've just got the tray on the floor where I am putting the glasses so that I can go and give it a wash, and after washing it come back and we'll do the next part in the other video. But yeah, so we are looking to offer those services where you've got people who are planning to start their life together. So traditionally I'm from Ghana, and we have certain cultural aspects that people like to incorporate within their life planning. So we want to set up these events where we have that discussion, because there are a lot of young Ghanaian people who have said that their parents haven't really talked to them about it, and then it's not until when they're ready to settle down that their parents are like, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. And some of them, because they're not educated in it, they object to it, should we say, and not object to it because it's a bad thing, but more because they just don't have the understanding. So if we're able to put that resource out there and let people have that discussion, open up the conversation, hopefully it's something that we can also archive for the future, because young people do value it. We do want to carry on some of our cultural practices. There are some things that are just like questionable, because they do have you know, there are some traditions that you can leave behind, you know, and there are also some cultural practices that you can actually take forward because they are just beautiful. And so, like, we wouldn't call our you know, traditionally you don't just get engaged, you know, somebody just comes and proposes to you, gets on one knee, and boom, you're engaged. It's a whole community affair, because back in the day, yes, like other cultures within Asia, people they weren't forced married, but their marriages were set up in a sense that, you know, I know the banker at the, within the community, and I have seen the way he's brought up his son. And so with my daughter, I would love my daughter to get married to his son. And so as parents, we would have discussions and say, oh, it would be really good to, you know, get our children together at some point. And most of the time, the children know each other anyway. They know each other within the community. But then, the discussions are had, and a lot of the time, the young people are fine with it. And it's not always love at first sight, but they kind of just make it work. And I think that's probably the reason why some relationships, because of personalities and things like that, some of our our parents and grandparents generation, they just lived. They may not necessarily loved, they may have fallen in love whilst they were living. But yeah, but some of these people, when you think about it, they had like 12 children. How are you having 12 children with somebody that you didn't love? You had to have fallen in love with them at some point. But, culturally, that's what happened. People would set up their families together. So it's about getting the balance right. So even though the practice of people being set up isn't the same anymore, young people are falling in love with each other now. It's just the honoring of the culture by way of how we have what we call our traditional wedding ceremony. How we have our traditional wedding ceremony, the things that people ask for. So in the Bible, actually, it's biblical, and as much as some people think, oh, it's just a Ghanaian thing, or it's a Nigerian thing, or it's an African thing, or even Asia, with the whole dowry thing, it is actually biblical, where you gift the man and their family certain things to say, yo, thank you for looking after your child so far. I'm going to take it from here. And also, it's a sign of capacity to be able to look after your child. And I think that's also where the whole thing of changing your surname comes from. So you go from your dad's surname, where and I think it's Kenya, where they do the thing of I want 10 cows or whatever. My friend always used to joke about it. He said, oh, whenever I didn't talk to him for a certain amount of time, I owed him a certain number of cows. But it's a sign of the capacity to be able to look after this person that you've now come and taken. So you don't take somebody from a 10 cow farm home and then take them to your 2 chicken home. You have to show that you have the capacity to actually be able to look after them. And so it's not just about affluence, but it's also about capacity. And so we want to have those conversations within the services that we provide. And that's just one aspect of a season in life. There's also the aspect of saying farewell to family members who have passed, and how to honor their life, how to celebrate their life, and things. So look out for that. 2025, oh my goodness, I've skipped a whole year. 2025, we're looking to be doing a few events around those. Some will be online, some will be live events. A lot of it may come with you will have to part way with money, because money makes everything run too smoothly. So there will be some free ones and there will be some paid ones as well. But look out for that in the new year. But these are going to be available for Christmas as hampers, box sets, as well as individual ones that you can personalize. So thank you very much for joining me whilst I etched these jumbo glasses and these tumblers. This particular symbol we don't have as part of our sets because the customer requested for them specifically, but this is part of the love set, and out of the 16 symbols that we have selected, which the details are available on the website. The website again is BOA, so that's BOA dash, so that's hyphen, the minus sign, me.com, and yeah, jump on the website and see what we've got available for you. If there is something that isn't available for you there, always click the contact us and we will be able to make something work for you. Thank you very much. Bwame, by your side through life seasons. Take care. Have a wonderful day.